hamburger stroganoff for dinner tonight. Using up my half of these egg noodles anyway. Some beefy onion recipe secrets, cream of chicken soup, ground beef, mushrooms, and some sour cream. We have our mushrooms sauteing. Our water's on to boil. We took our mushrooms sauteed in butter out. And we're breaking up our ground beef. Pappy's in there building something for us. The other room has to do with groceries, cooking too, I guess. I'm using half the noodles, just about half, so I'm saving some back for some tuna noodle casserole. And I'm going to use about half of this packet of beefy onion soup mix or recipe mix. So I'm also using some cream of mushroom. And that's high in sodium. Pappy's still pounding in there. See what he's building here pretty soon. So these take about 8 minutes. All the pounding going on was Pappy building me this little greenhouse. It has a greenhouse cover, but it's not on there right now. We were testing out to see where the grow light, which was sold separately, will need to fall in order to be right above the planters, I guess, that we're going to use, because you want to have that a certain distance from your plants when they sprout. Maybe we can have our hamburger meat done and the sauce made by the time the noodles are done. I just need to add my soup mixes. We drained the grease a little bit. There's a little bit more to do right there. And we have our cream of mushroom soup, our about 1/3 to a half a package of our beefy onion. Gonna add a soup can of water. Noodles are still going here. Our mushrooms are added in and our noodles are ready. There we have our noodles. Everything's all mixed together and our leftover vegetables are in the microwave. I just need to stir in some sour cream. I just put a plop of sour cream. I really didn't measure it. Maybe like a 1/3 cup. Just add to the creaminess here. We'll get it all dished up here and we'll show you the final product. Here's our hamburger stroganoff. Some leftover peas and carrots. And Pappy's. Well, we each had a bowl of the hamburger stroganoff. We have enough for leftovers. Because of all the garden projects, this is going to be supper today. Oh, Pappy found waffle fries. Maybe a salad. Here's our quick, unhealthy dinner. But it's food. Some fish fillets and breaded shrimp, waffle fries. I have ketchup and tartar sauce. And there's Pappy's. He didn't put his stuff on yet. Whatever condiments he desires. Today we're having leftover fish, shrimp, and there's a few French fries left. So I think I'm going to make some macaroni and cheese with these, just half a box of noodles, if that. I have a lot of these Laughing Cow cheese wedges left, and the Best Buy, woo, my water's starting to boil. The Best Buy is April something, so I thought I'd try to use some of these. They're creamy. I think I have 6 left in this box, so I'm going to use some of those. maybe some of our Cooper cheese, and some of the milk I need to use up. I start out my mac and cheese by making a roux. Can you tell the difference between these two types of butter? This is a Kerrygold grass-fed butter, and this is just a regular butter, store brand or like a Land O'Lakes brand. I'm not sure, but I'm only going to make like a half a recipe of the mac and cheese, so we'll go easy on the butter too. I don't know, this is a couple tablespoons, maybe 3 tablespoons. And then I want equal amount of flour after this melts. I just have my butter and flour cooking here in the pan. I have my little cheese wedges unwrapped. I'm just going to add a little onion to the butter and flour. I may add just a little more butter so that the onion can hydrate a little bit. I usually just add a little bit of this dehydrated onion when I make my mac and cheese. I know when I make it homemade, a lot of children when they're younger, they don't like those pieces of onion, but this sort of disappears into it while still giving it a good flavor. I have my milk stirred into my roux, my flour and butter mixture, and I have my little cheese wedges unwrapped. I'm just going to let them melt slowly. Add my Cooper cheese. Pasta is boiling. That only takes 6 to 8 minutes. And I added 4, so my pasta's done already. I added 4 or 5 pieces of Cooper cheese. This is just a little bit of pasta, so we don't need much. I'm debating on just letting this on top of the stove. Just adding my pasta instead of baking it off. We'll see what happens. Since I'm heating the leftovers up in the oven, I figured I might as well just bake the macaroni and cheese. I feel it makes it better. My macaroni and cheese ready to bake, and the leftovers are ready to heat up. As a side dish, since this wild brine kraut is open, it's red cabbage and beets. Gonna have a little bit of that with some additional pickled beets. I really wanted coleslaw, but this is a substitute. Here's supper tonight. Our leftover fish and shrimp and fries, some mac and cheese, and fermented red cabbage and beets, and just regular pickled beets. And here's Pappy's. He didn't bring his pickled beets in yet. I'm trying out the overnight oats today, and I won't get them out every day and bore you with that, but I just wanted to show how I enjoyed them. If I feel they're good, I'll eat the rest even if I don't, because I don't want to waste ingredients. But unless there's something really wrong or they're spoiled, that's different. But I'm going to give you my honest opinion, what I feel about this recipe. These containers came with these cute little spoons, so I'm going to use it for fun. See the blueberries in there, the oats. Thing looks good and chocolatey. Definitely a winner. If you're getting into gardening, you don't have to worry about greenhouses or grow lights. They are more for people who are growing a big garden and a lot of plants. I have relied on, if you have certain southern facing windows, can't get my words out today. If you have certain southern facing windows, I have used this method where I use the foil lined box, just a simple cardboard box lined with foil in the background to help direct the sunlight onto the seedlings. If they're not out there very long, If they're quick growing things, then it usually works pretty well. And it doesn't cost a lot. And my southern facing room is full right now, so there's no room for me to get out there, set up a stand. It's also rather cold. And some of the things I want to germinate require a warmer environment. You can also get a warming mat to put down to lay your trays on, and that'll help keep the soil warm so that your seeds germinate at the correct temperature. You can also buy little pots or elaborate things to plant in, or you can repurpose. And I've done that successfully as well. Although I hear you would want to clean with a 10% bleach solution to make sure you're not spreading disease to your plants, if that is a concern for you. And also there's labeling. You want to know what you're growing. You don't want to buy tags to know what you're planting, because you will forget. You will forget. Unless you're planting one thing. But it's confusing when you have several different things popping up. You can use just simple masking tape and a Sharpie. And I just put it right on the container and I know what's there. Unless you have a jokester going around swapping your tape out, they could do that with the tags too. Pappy's not here to hear that. I don't think he'd do that. Well, maybe once. Just have a bowl to mix my soil from Dollar Tree. Just a mixing bowl, a cheap mixing bowl. Put soil, water, moisten it. Fill your pots. Add seeds according to the package directions. And there you have it. Let your garden grow. Why don't you come along and plant with us? I'm going to show several methods that you can get a little garden or a little pot on your patio or a sunny area that you have, a sunny porch. It would be fun to hear all of your experiences with gardening and growing food. Enough for leftovers. Oh! See?